All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'm just gonna read just a couple quick sheets. It won't take too long. Then we could just go to questions. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I am Wayne County Commissioner Reggie Reg Davis. Northwest Detroit is my district, and me and my team have decided to put together what we're referring to as the Bullet Bill, which is a movement. I'll get back to that in 1 second. There are a few points on the Bullet Bill. One, to require law enforcement agencies to perform a background check that includes mental health data on the purchaser using the Federal Bureau of Investigation's National Instant Criminal Background Check System prior to any sale of firearm ammunition to screen out individuals who pose a threat to themselves or others. To require mental health care providers to submit mental health records to the NICS. To require firearm ammunition to be purchased from either a law enforcement agency or a retailer upon the purchaser showing documentation evidencing a successful background check. Limit the amount of firearm ammunition that can be purchased. And create or increase taxes on firearm ammunition with the proceeds dedicated to assist the victims of gun violence and to finance educational and gun safety programs to reduce gun violence. Also, the state of California has recently put together proposed legislation which mandates serial numbers on bullets, or some type of, because some may say serial numbers, that's going to be a lot of work, maybe it may be very expensive to taxpayers. But the other part is some type of a tracing mechanism for police or law enforcement to trace those bullets back to who purchased them after a crime is committed. The Bullet Bill is a movement. It is currently a proposed county resolution, which will soon go before my colleagues on the Wayne County Commission. And from there, we will prepare, my team and I will prepare to make it an ordinance, which could be a tough legal battle, being that, as you all know, gun laws are pretty much the responsibility of state and federal law. Understanding the legal battles that we will be faced with concerning state and federal statutes, we are prepared to fight all the way. Ultimately, in my brother Vito's name and my uncle Ricky, who are here, who died as a result of gun violence, we plan for the Bullet Bill to become federal law. The Bullet Bill movement is also in line, as I mentioned, with California proposed legislation which mandates serial numbers and other traceable markings on ammunition so that the police can more easily track them. Let's begin to unload guns that mean harm to us. Let's take the bullets out of guns that our mentally ill family members may have access to. Let's put an end to the frequent stories about Wayne County residents, about Detroiters, identifying loved ones at the morgue who have been fatally shot as a result of the senseless gun violence that continues on our city streets. I would like for my Chief of Staff, Machete Muhammad, to share a few words, and then we'll go to questions. Machete.
Hi, I'm Brother Machete Muhammad. One thing we want everyone to understand is that this is not an attack on the NRA. We understand that the Second Amendment is a right of the American citizens, and we don't want to infringe on that, but we do recognize that there is a scourge in the communities throughout America, particularly black communities in America, where young black men and Hispanic men are being murdered by illegal guns that are being purchased on the streets of Detroit, Chicago, San Francisco, LA, so on and so forth. And so what we're looking to do is find a way where we can get a hold of these guns that are being transported into our communities, and we want to be able to hold those who are purchasing these guns accountable, those who are buying these bullets accountable. It's not a step on anyone's Second Amendment right. It's just a way that we can find a way where we can stop this senseless violence in our communities.
Yeah, and to compound on what my Chief of Staff just mentioned, Detroit is the Wild Wild West. When you turn on the television every single day and you see younger versions of myself, especially, at the gas station, the dollar store, shooting and killing each other for senseless reasons. You stepped on my shoe, you cursed out my girlfriend. That has to stop. And that's why we're here today. People say, why are you doing this, Reg? Well, I'm Wayne County Commissioner. I wanted to use this stage for what it's for, and that's to make change. And this is the type of change that we're attempting to make. I have some parents of some loved ones who have lost their lives from gun violence. And if you guys want to just share a couple words.
My name is Susan Watson. My son was murdered on July 29th, 2015. He was shot with an assault rifle, AK, in the back and in his leg. He was murdered. He had left 2 children behind. It is devastating. When they killed him, they killed our whole family. This is enough. Is enough. It's time to stand up and speak up. Please. Thank you.
My name is Bernice. Both my sons were murdered. My baby was 18. And my oldest son was 25. I've lost 9, 10 family members in these streets for no good reason. I'm tired. I'm tired of watching mothers. People don't understand what happens to a mother, to a family. It's a domino effect. When your son or your child is murdered, oh God, it's the worst ever. We're not supposed to bury our kids. Not like that. Not like that. You got babies being shot in the head. Our kids can't play in the street. I support you. We support you. 100%. We will stand by you.
Yes.
All the way. All the way. We support you. And I thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any questions?
So how will this be funded?
Well, I think that's a question that I was prepared to make, saying that it's going to take myself, again, just Wayne County Commission. We can only do but so much. I mean, it's a fact. So friends of mine, a few freshmen, state legislators, we sat down, we had a chance to speak about this, a few state senators, and Debbie Stabenow, her office, and a few other people. We've already begun the discussion about it because, again, it's not, Wayne County, we can only do but so much. So we're going to need state funds. We're going to need federal funds. But when we talk about putting the taxes on the ammunition, that's a start. So if we can get them just to go and vote on this, and yeah, we're going to put, when this happened to my brother the very next day, out of emotion, but I still feel the same way, but I think it's going to be pretty tough to do it. I said, let's put a 1,000 taxation on bullets and take that, and to help families that are dealing with gun violence, and to teach young people, younger versions of myself, about conflict resolution. Somebody stepped in your shoes, you don't pull out a gun. That's not the way to handle that. So the taxes on the ammunition will be the first step.
Now, are you just talking about having a background check when people go to purchase bullets, or will there be more steps to this?
So I'm a guy, I remember my days on the Charter Commission, I would always want to pull the arrow all the way back. So I say that you can't purchase a bullet unless you go to the Detroit Police Department, Wayne County Sheriff's Office, or Michigan State Police, any law enforcement. That's the only time you can purchase a bullet. Mm-hmm. Of course, people looked at me, laughed at me, stepped on me. Okay, no problem. So let's try to find a middle. So first and foremost, purchase your ammunition at these law enforcement agencies. However, you may be able to go to a gun show or Myers or wherever, but after you've had that background check, which includes your mental health record.
Yes. Can you explain, so you're going to bring this before the Board of Commissioners, they need to approve it, and then how is this all going to work?
Yeah, they just approve it, and it becomes a resolution. And the resolution is really only what we're saying. Hey, I'm Wayne County, this is what our resolution on my part is this. Hey, I'm Wayne County Commissioner, we're Wayne County Commissioners, state legislators, Congress persons, it's your duty to now step forward, team up with us, and make this become reality. Now, for me to want to put it in the form of an ordinance in Wayne County, that I'm fighting against the law, because the law mandates certain things when it comes to gun laws and ammunition laws. So that's really state and federal. But I want to do the fight anyway. I'm going to do everything I have to do over and beyond. If I have to step on the other side of the table from the other 14 members of my colleagues on Wayne County Commission.
Do you plan on taking this to the Detroit City Council? Because a lot of the murders are happening in the inner city of Detroit, not pretty much in the Wayne County. Do you plan on taking this to City Council?
Reverend Spivey, Mary Sheffield, to President Brenda Jones. Yes, absolutely. City Council, state legislators, federal legislators, the president. Mr. President, if you see this, let's sit down and talk. This is very important.
Yes.
Whatever, I may not like you, may not like me, Mr. President, but this is about us all. Let's sit down today, Mr. President, and talk about how we can make these changes so that we can see the effective change in cities like Detroit.
Yes.
Can I say something?
Sure.
I think
This is Tom. He's a resident of my district.
Yeah, Tom Wilson's my name. And I think Marvin Gaye summed it up real well. He said, mother, 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 there's far too many of you crying. Brother, 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 there's far too many of you dying. I mean, you know, what do I need with an AR-15?
Yes.
I mean, those guns were meant to do one thing and one thing only, and that is to kill a lot of people in a short period of time. Now, you know, it's in the Constitution. It's a guaranteed right that, you know, people can own guns, but like that woman that got shot over at that house the other night where her 5-year-old daughter was killed. She was shot 15 times. Nobody took the time to reload that gun. She had a semi, if not an automatic weapon, whoever shot her, and shot her. You know, you don't, I mean, you know, just pull the trigger. Hopefully not, but just leave the guns alone. I mean, because this is insanity.
Yes.
And this is us doing it to us.
Yes.
I told Ralph Godby one time, I said, this is nobody coming from the hostile suburbs or from Southwest Detroit coming in here committing these heinous crimes. This is black people doing it to black people, and it has got to come to an end. Because guess what? For every one of us that dies, a candle in the future gets darker.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, and speaking of Ralph Godby, a friend of mine, he was a former, of course, as we know, Detroit police chief. He's now over DPS. He totally supports this. We talk about this all the time, so he's in our corner. And many people are, but it starts today of us coming together. All walks of legislators from every angle. We need to come together today and talk about this.
What would you say to people who would argue that it won't have an effect on people who have the legal right to bear arms, but the criminals will continue to purchase their weapons on the streets illegally, and along with the ammunition?
Yeah. Well, you know, it's got to start somewhere, right? If I just sit down and say, oh, I could have, I should have, that does nothing for anybody. Right. So for me to get up with my team and to come out here today, and the young ladies that are here representing their family members who have lost their lives as a result of gun violence, they saw it and they were compelled to come here today. And so it starts right here. And again, I want to throw the leash all the way out to DC, to our president, and tell him we're in Detroit. You know, again, I may not like you, you may not like me, but put that on to the side for right now. We're trying to save lives.
Yes, absolutely.
Anybody else?
When are you going to bring this to the commission?
Yeah, when will it?
Yeah, I think I was talking to the chair. It won't be this Thursday, possibly 2 weeks from today we would have it. Yeah, we should get it in about 2 weeks from today on a Thursday at 10 a.m.
So is that the beginning of next month?
Yes, our full board. That'll be our next one, because this full board is this Thursday, so 2 weeks after this Thursday, 10 a.m. Yeah.
Okay,
The
and they could
first
make a
Thursday
decision
in
that day
October?
then?
Yeah, 500 Griswold, yeah.
First
And we could make the decision that day to